Midday. Silence so big it hums. You came out here to hike, and instead you found a small plane folded into a dune like a dropped toy, and next to it, half unzipped in the sand, a duffel bag full of banded $100 bills. 2 million, give or take. The only footprints around it are yours, for now. Here's the math nobody wrote on the bag. Planes like this don't crash unnoticed. Somewhere, men who count this money for a living are already spreading a map on a hood. Best guess, you've got 24 hours before they sweep this site, and your truck is a full day's hike away. Welcome to the worst lottery you ever won. Clock starts now. $2 million, and the desert isn't telling anyone. Walking away is clean. No bag, no crime, no target on your back. Taking it changes your whole life if you keep the life. Option A, leave it and hike out to report the wreck. Option B, shoulder the bag and go. Choose. Time's up. Let's see what that got you. If you chose A, you zip the bag shut, step back, and start the long hike out with clean hands and a clear conscience. Honest citizen, doing the right thing. You even rehearse the call to the sheriff as you crunch along the exposed trail in the full midday sun, a lone dark speck on a bright open dune field. The dust plume you noticed earlier isn't wandering anymore. It's aiming, a black pickup cutting cross-country, straight at the only moving thing in 10 miles, you. They watched you stand over their money, and "I didn't take anything" is not a sentence these men have ever believed. The truck slides to a stop across your trail. Turns out honesty is priceless, and they still made you pay. If you chose B, you grab the strap. 40-some pounds of consequences settle onto your shoulder, and you don't take the trail. You drop off the back of the dune, into the low ground, out of the skyline. Every step off trail is slower, meaner, and invisible, and right now, invisible is the only currency that outranks the one you're carrying. From the low ground, you watch that distant dust plume sweep past on the main trail, the trail you'd be standing on right now, empty-handed and explaining yourself. Instead, you're a rumor, a missing bag, and no story to go with it. You're alive, you're rich, and you are now the most wanted hiker in this desert. Keep moving. 3 hours in, and the bag is winning. Your water's going twice as fast as planned, and the deep sand eats every step. But buried money is money you might never see again, and money on your back is money that's slowly cooking you. Option A, bury most of it here, carry 2 bundles. Option B, haul every dollar. Choose. Pencils down. Here's how it plays out. If you chose A, you dig into the cool sand under a flat slab of rock, stack the bundles in, and memorize the spot like a prayer. The forked scrub, the bend in the wash, the notch in the far ridge. 2 bundles go in your pack, $60,000 of proof, and a bag light enough to run with. You come up out of that wash a different animal. Fast, light, drinking on schedule. Behind you, the sand looks like sand. Somewhere under it, $1.9 million waits with more patience than the men hunting it. You've stopped carrying the money. Now the money is carrying you. If you chose B, every dollar comes. You cinch the straps and grind forward through the soft sand, and for a while, pure greed makes a decent fuel. Then the bag starts making the decisions. Shorter steps, longer breaks, and the water bottle at your hip, going hollow, one desperate pull at a time. By the time you hear the engine, you're on your knees in the wash, dizzy, the bag beside you like an anchor. The pickup noses over the rim above and just stops. They don't even hurry down. Why would they? The desert did the chasing for them. You died rich for about an hour. That's more than most. That drone in your ears isn't the wind. A low plane is mowing the sky in neat lines, and you're a bug on a table. The ravine below is real cover, 30 seconds of open sprint away. The boulder beside you is cover right now, if you can hold still while a plane hunts you. Option A, freeze against the boulder. Option B, sprint for the ravine. Choose. Too late to change your mind now. Let's watch. If you chose A, you fold yourself into the boulder's long shadow and become geology, heart slamming, sweat stinging your eyes, and you give the sky absolutely nothing. No motion, no dust, no glint. The engine swells until it's directly overhead, close enough that you can read the strut, and you stop breathing on principle. The plane finishes its line, banks, and mows the next strip of desert. One ridge over, then two, then a sound the wind can finally swallow. You peel off the rock, joints cracking, and slip down toward the ravine at a walk, in shadow, like a rumor. The eye in the sky is good at spotting motion. It's terrible at spotting patience. If you chose B, you run 30 seconds. That's all it is. A flat-out, arms-pumping dash across open rock with the ravine getting bigger and your shadow stretched out beside you like a signal flag. And behind you, the engine's steady drone changes pitch, rises. You hear the bank before you dare to look. You make the ravine. Doesn't matter. The plane carves a slow circle directly above it, lazy and certain, a finger pointing straight down at your hiding spot for anyone with a radio. Out on the flats, a dust plume swings toward you like a compass needle finding north. You outran the plane's shadow. Its radio, not so much. The desert lied to you all day about being hot. Now it's dropping toward 40, and you're wearing sweat. This old mine cuts the wind, and there's enough dry brush for a small fire. Warmth, morale, maybe survival. Or you shiver till dawn, giving the night nothing to look at. Option A, light the fire. Option B, cold camp, no light. Choose. Locked it in? Good. Let's see it. If you chose A, the lighter catches on the third try and the brush goes up sweet and fast. Heat crawls back into your fingers, and for 10 glorious minutes the night is beaten. What you can't see from inside the glow, the mine mouth is now a lit doorway hanging on a black hillside, visible from every mile of the flats below. Down on the flats, a pair of headlights slides to a stop and goes dark. You don't see that part either. You're dozing warm when the first flashlight beam rakes across the mine timbers, and boots start up the slope in no particular hurry. A hillside this steep only has one door. You wanted to be cozy. Congratulations. So do moths. If you chose B, no fire. You stuff your jacket with dry brush for insulation, wedge into the mine's inner corner out of the wind, and let the cold have you. It's a miserable arithmetic, teeth chattering, knees to chest, counting breaths. But the hillside stays black, the desert stays blind, and you stay a secret. Past midnight, headlights crawl the flats below, slow, searching, pausing at every dark fold in the hills. They sweep across your hillside twice and find exactly what you gave them. Rock, brush, nothing. The engine fades north. You're frozen half through and grinning about it. Comfort is for people nobody's hunting. Your bottle's been empty since sundown and your tongue knows it. That windmill tank is water, real, close, and standing in the wide open where anyone watching the only water for miles would want you to walk. Your truck is maybe 6 hours out, dry the whole way. Option A, slip to the tank and refill. Option B, push on dry. Choose. That's your answer. Let's find out if it holds. If you chose A, you go low and slow, moving from shadow to shadow until the cattle shuffle and stare at you like unpaid security. At the tank, you drink in long, aching pulls, fill the bottle twice, and keep your eyes on the horizon. Between every swallow, the windmill creaks. Nothing else moves. 90 seconds, in and out, and you melt back into the scrub with 2 liters of the cheapest water you'll ever be this rich while drinking. A mile on, you glance back. The tank sits silver and empty in the moonlight, cattle settling, no headlights, no shapes. The gamble bought you the rest of the night. Spend it walking. If you chose B, too obvious, you decide. Watering holes are where predators wait. So you skirt wide around the windmill and push on with a dry bottle and a drier mouth, betting your legs can outlast your thirst. For the first hour, the bet holds. Then the cramps arrive, one calf at a time, and the moonlit flats start gently tilting. By the gray edge of morning, you're not hiking anymore. You're wandering, sitting down for a minute, on the open flats in plain view, lips split, compass thoughts gone soupy. The pickup doesn't even have to search. They just follow the staggering line of footprints to the man sitting at the end of it. You avoided the trap at the water. The water was never the trap. There it is, Your truck, keys in your pocket, 6 hours of nightmare from over, and parked beside it, a truck that wasn't there yesterday. Could be a hunter, could be a welcome party. Lights coming fast, and every minute you wait, you're easier to see. Option A, go now, straight in, before full light. Option B, crawl closer and watch first. Choose. Clock's dead. Moment of truth. If you chose A, speed over caution. You come off the overlook and jog the open flat, keys already out, eyes locked on your door handle like it's a finish line. 100 yards, 50. The strange truck just sits there, dew on the windshield, quiet as a held breath. 20 yards, its door clicks open. 2 men step out unhurried, like they've been paid by the hour to wait exactly here. Of course they found it. One lone truck at one lone trailhead on the edge of a desert their money fell into. You get one hand on your door before their hands are on you. 6 hours left on the clock, and you drove your own trap here yesterday. Free parking. Costs everything. If you chose B, you swallow the itch to sprint and belly crawl the long way around, rock to rock, until you can see into that strange truck's cab. Someone's in it. A man reclined in the driver's seat, hat over his eyes, hand resting on something in his lap. Parked, with a perfect view of your driver's door. He's not sleeping at your trailhead by coincidence, so the truck is burned. That hurts worse than the blisters. Your ride, your name on the registration, sitting there as bait. You back out of the rocks one quiet foot at a time and turn toward the last option on the map, the old ranch road, and beyond it, the highway, on foot. Losing your truck stings. It stings a lot less than being in it. An old flatbed comes grinding up the ranch road, dust glowing gold in the sunrise. That could be a rancher, a ride, a phone, salvation on 4 bald tires. It could also be exactly who you'd expect on the only road out. You're limping, out of time, and the highway is still miles off. Option A, flag it down. Option B, stay hidden and let it pass. Choose. No takebacks now. Here we go. If you chose A, you step out of the ditch, arms waving, the picture of a hiker in trouble, which is, to be fair, accurate. The flatbed slows, brakes squealing, and the driver leans over to size you up from under a sweat-stained hat. "You the fella been walking all night?" he says, friendly enough. You never told him that part. The moment you're in the cab, he picks up a battered radio handset, keeps one eye on you, and says a number that sounds a lot like a location. The door locks are the old kind, the kind on his side. The flatbed swings around, back into the desert, away from the highway. Word travels fast out here. Everybody's got a price. His was a phone call. If you chose B, you press flat into the ditch and let salvation drive by. The flatbed rattles past close enough to pepper you with grit, and through the sunrise dust you see what the friendly silhouette was hiding. A second man riding the flatbed, glassing the scrub with binoculars, slow and professional, a long case at his feet. You lie there until the engine dies away, heart bouncing off the dirt, and then you run the arithmetic. They're driving the roads now, not the desert. So you leave the road, cut the fence line straight cross country, and point yourself at the low hum you can just barely hear. That's the highway. 3 hours left. Everything you've got, spend it now. There's the blacktop. And parked on it, a state trooper running radar on an empty road. Behind you, that dust plume is coming down the ranch road, and it isn't cattle. Flag the trooper and the money's gone. Plus every question you can answer clean. Slip past him and you're still rich, still hunted. Option A, flag him down and tell everything. Option B, stay low, slip past, keep the secret. Choose. Hope you picked well. Let's see. If you chose A, you break cover and stagger onto the gravel with your hands up and the whole story falling out of you. The wreck, the bag, the buried cash, the men behind you. You drop the 2 bundles on his hood like they're burning your hands. He looks at the cash, then at the dust plume swinging onto the blacktop and reaches for his radio without taking his eyes off it. The dark truck rolls past the pullout at a law-abiding crawl. windows up, and keeps driving because light bars change math. And that's the good ending, the only one there was. The money goes into evidence, the coordinates go into a report, and you go home with your name in a file and a habit of checking mirrors you'll keep for years. You found $2 million in the desert. You got to keep your heartbeat. Out here, that was the whole jackpot. If you chose B, cops mean questions, and questions mean losing everything you bled for. So you ghost through the ditch below the pullout, past the idling cruiser, and put your thumb out further up the empty blacktop with 60 grand in your pack, and a story you'll never tell. A gray sedan slows almost immediately. Lucky. So lucky. The sedan's passenger window rolls down and nobody asks where you're headed because they already know where you've been. They've had eyes on every mile of that road since dawn. The rear door swings open on its own. Behind you, the trooper is a shrinking speck who'll never know how close you stood to him. You kept the secret, now it keeps you. Bad ending. And that's the desert, friend. It gives you $2 million and charges 24 hours of your life as the handling fee. Some of you walked out. Most of you are buried somewhere near round 4. Drop your final answer in the comments, A or B, and tell me honestly, would you really have left the bag? Yeah, that's what they all say.